Well, the Prime Minister hit the streets of Hobart today for his first full day of campaigning for the Indigenous voice to Parliament, brushing off concerns that support amongst Tasmanians just isn't there.
I'm very positive about how the vote will go in Tasmania and throughout the country.
The 80% figure that you quote, in Tasmania, I think most people would probably accept the reality is there's a lot more opposition within the Indigenous community than 80%. Would you concede that point?
I state very clearly that overwhelmingly Indigenous Australians support a yes vote.
Let's bring in my panel now. Commentator Justin Morrison. I did it again, Jason. I'm so sorry.
Parents should have gone with Justin.
I've got it on the brain. You're going to have to go and change your name by deed poll now.
Let's just go with it. No one will.
That's it. And Charlotte Mortlock.
I could be Charlene.
That's
that
it.
works.
That's it.
Then we can all have different names.
I could be Carl
It's got
or
like a
something.
Neighbours thing about it now. Hasn't it?
Perfect.
Great Australian television as we produce here every night at Sky News. We've got a long way to go down the road to the referendum now. I think at this point, Charlotte, we've been hearing about the voice for so long. The risk you run for both the yes and the no campaign is people just start turning off. It's probably better for the no campaign than it is for the yes, but people, I think, are getting tired of it.
Oh, I would love to know the statistics on, the websites on who's actually clicking on voice articles at the moment, because I think that the broader public has so much fatigue and I wish it was tomorrow. I wish we could get it over and done with, because it just feels like this 6 weeks is going to go for a really long time.
I think, Jason, there's been a bit of a pivot in the Yes campaign. Particularly, you had yesterday the launch in Adelaide, and front and centre was Peter Malinauskas, who made comments yesterday on my program and in The Australian that, if we want to convince people to vote yes, we've got to bring them with us, which is very different to what the Yes campaign has been doing up to this point. Have they finally woken up that beating people over the head ain't going to work?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's interesting times. If you watch a station like this, you listen to talk radio, you give a damn about your country, you've already developed your view. This is a game about getting a whole lot of people who are just disconnected and out of this totally. I had a friend who's a university lecturer, and his discipline he lectures is engineering. So, not a very, I'll say, an environment where you necessarily have a lot of people who are engaged with politics and things like that. They're interested in building things and whatever else. He was talking to his class the other day about it, just out of curiosity, and blank looks. In the room, blank looks. People don't even know what's on. These are young people. So the game that's going on now is to try to inspire people who aren't even connected to all of this to get involved. And the don't know, vote no will be very, very strong in this.
Yeah.
You'll start hearing this. I was talking to someone earlier about the comparisons between this and, say, 99, when we were voting to decide if indeed there'd be a change to the constitutional monarchy that we enjoy now. And what happened when, the go button was hit for the campaign leading up to the vote is the politicians got out of the way because they were all smart enough back then to understand that the vanity of being front and centre of a political debate like this versus the political risk is too great.
Yeah.
And I just wonder, if the politicians get out of the way, who's the lead figure for the yes? And indeed, you go to the right, the other side of it, the no. Who's the lead figure of the no? All the lead figures of the no are mostly non-politicians.
Yep.
All the lead figures for the yes are members of parliament, ministers, whatever else. This is the problem. And there's
Malcolm
a huge
Turnbull.
turnover.
They can sign him up as the lead.
Look, ironically, Malcolm Turnbull, when he was a civilian and was quite clear about where he stood on the world, he opposed, he was for the constitutional change in 99, and he was front and centre as a civilian.
Yeah.
But no politician wanted to be the person that would be the centre. And this is just going to make a whole lot of people who give that much of a damn about what Anthony Albanese or Linda Burney or anyone has to say, it's just going to make them switch off. They're not interested in hearing from these people.
Yeah.